Hi guys. Hello everybody. So namhlanje simenyiwe bethunana. We are here. We are here. Silapha ke bethunana with uKhanya. Ndawoyam with uKhanya simenyiwe. My name is Zanele Ulana. Makoti niyamazi ke bethunana uyabathanda kakhulu Makoti. Makoti ke bethuna. I am married. I am 4 years in marriage. Namhlanje ke sizawube sithetha under the topic of reflections of love. Season 1. Kumandi kwa love, okay guys. So yes, I'll be answering few questions, and yes, I think let's start. The first question I will be answering. Okay, so the first question says, where and when did you meet Hadi? Okay, let me start by where. Okay, we met ku BBM, guys. I know. We met ku BBM. I'm gonna end it there. Andizonaba kodwa ke igqibeleni sidibene ku BBM. Sidibana ku BBM. It was 2012. It was late September. Yes, we met ku BBM late September 2012. I think masidluleni andifuna unaba. And then the second question says, what made you listen to him when he approached you? Hey, akunzima ke ngoku ku approach njani na ku BBM bethuna. There was no approach really. Kona, hey. Udlamini bethuna zange akhe aplite lando kuthiwa kuplita angikhumbuli kahle. So sidibene ku BBM, and then saqala sancokola ku BBM, and we exchanged pictures, and then 3rd week of October then wacela ukunibona. So yeah, was ekhaya ke wanibona, which also was very brief. It was just a few minutes. It was not long. I didn't even get out of the yard. Wafika, then uhlike emotweni waza kum eyadini, and then sabulisana ke, and yeah, it was great way to finally just see to see him in person. Yabo kuba ke benikade nimbona kwi pictures, and yeah, so that's the first time I met him in person. And I think one thing that I can remember from that day is just his smile. Yes. Oh, he was wearing such I'm sure uba wafika kokwabo waqala wakhe wazithuthuza before aphume, but yeah, he smelled really great. After semkile, that smell was just on me as well, because yes, we shared a hug, and yeah, that was it. So yeah, I think I will pause there with that. And then the third question says, What made you say yes to him when he popped the question, will you marry me? Yes. So yes, guys, yo, I remember that day he proposed on my birthday. Yo, I was very excited. I was super excited. It was 12 midnight and this is a Rumini. We're about to sleep and yeah, this guy proposes. Why would my gate in the complex to Puma? Okay, masiphendule any question. Just between me and him, like the topic of marriage was always on our lips. Like I'm saying, we had moved in together with an intention of getting married, and even though from his side he was never specific about by what time and all the details, right? But on my side as well, I was not checking uba he's putting money away and all of that. I knew there is money that he's saving. That's important. That is very important. So I knew that, you know, there is something that he's putting away, but I was not privy to the information, but it's for ilobola or anything like that. But it was just a culture of saving, which was good. And we never put years to it, but how long are we gonna stay together until Sechate. So when he popped the question, it was really a surprise. So yeah, so what made me say yes to him, it's because I loved him. I saw him in my future, in everything that in all the plans that I had for my future. You know, when I thought of retirement and a retirement partner, he was there. When I thought of kids and a father for my kids, he was there. He's just full of grace, guys. So I can be a bit much, I can be a lot. So he's always just been that person who's patient with me, who listens to me, and yeah, he's very quick to say sorry. In many of our arguments or disagreements, he's very quick to say sorry and make amends, and we are good again, and yeah, so those are some of the qualities that he really has. I saw my future in him, and there was no other man that I could ever chosen. So even today, I still choose him over and over and over again. So yes, the last question. Iti yindone sakuhlalisileyo emtshadweni. Oh, madoda. Regardless of everything ogqithe kuzo. Okay, this one is simple for me. Number one, into endihlalisileyo emtshadweni, it's because God remains God in our marriage. So when we took our vows, we also took God to be part of our marriage. So God has really been a foundation of our marriage. Whatever problems esibanazo, we just take them to God, and yeah, that has kept us, that has sustained us. So secondly, what is keeping us in marriage? I think I would say it's the commitment that we made. The commitment in front of everyone, all the witnesses, our families, and in front of God. The vows that we shared together. I would still take him even to this day. I would still commit to uDlamini. And he's never changed, Betunan. Not at all. Yes, our love has matured, you know. It's not the butterfly kind of love now. We understand what is love, you know. He's kind, he's loving, he's caring, he's gentle. So yes, our love has matured, and he's never moved away from who he is. So I fell in love with ubuyena, and that is still there. So that for me really is what makes our love so real, and that's why I would choose him over and over again. There's no other man for me. And lastly, I would say that what makes me remain in love, it's to see him, it's you know, it's to just leave work going knowingly ukuthi ndizofika and be welcomed with warm hugs and kisses. You know, the way I see him playing with our daughter, you know, how he takes his role as a father, it just melts my heart every time when I see them playing together, and the way that he treats me as his wife. So yes, the way he respects me, the way he makes time to listen to me. So yes, that makes me just fall in love with him all over again. So it's not hunky-dory. Sometimes we agree, sometimes we disagree, but we still remain as a team. So yes, Ketile. Please guys, subscribe to this channel and give this video a massive thumbs up, and watch out for more videos on the Reflections of Love Season 1.
Hi everyone, my name is Akona Nokoyo, and I'm going to answer a number of questions for you today related to marriage. I am married, and I've been married for 2 years, almost 2 years. It's going to be 2 years in June actually. So it's still very early for me. I'm still learning quite a lot in this journey, but I do have 1 or 2 things that I can share with y'all. Okay, so let's get going. The first question is, where and when did you meet your hubby? To make it short, to summarize it, we met in 2002 back at home in East London. A friend of ours was trying to hook him up with somebody. He was actually my neighbor. Was trying to hook him up with someone. Then was it Dibanisa, and we started dating. But in fact, prior to that, we realized that we actually were in the same taxi together. I think about a week before that. I noticed him, he noticed me. There was an attraction, but we were never introduced. He went his way, I went my way. So fate always has a way of, you know, so when his friend brought him to my house, I knew, but okay, this is the guy that I had met in the taxi, and we started dating then. Okay, so the second question, what made you listen to him when he approached you? First of all, it was very difficult not to listen to him when he approached me, because he was with a group of friends. It was him, his friend, and the girlfriend of his friend. So it was a group of people, so it would have been awkward not to listen to him, number one. So the whole situation, Jay, played in his favor. And then I listened to him because he was a cute guy. I mean, I didn't know him from a bar of soap, so there was no other reason why I was drawn to him except for his looks. He was cute, and I remembered that this is the guy that I met in the taxi. I was attracted to him. So I knew that it was the universe trying to bring us together. So I listened to him, and even though I don't remember what he was saying, I don't remember half the things. Oh, I did a you know, boys trying to be all that, but one thing that I can remember that stood out, he was a very humble boy. Like, he was a very humble guy, and I think that's what drew me closer and closer to him. So I knew, but now, okay, he's a humble boy. That's one thing that I would say we have in common. And I knew that, okay, you know, something cooking could come out of this. So yeah. So the third question is, what made you say yes to him when you popped the question, will you marry me? First of all, do black guys actually propose, like, on their knees, will you marry me? Hey guys, I silently have a proposal, Shem. If they do, silently have a proposal. So what made me say yes to him? So he didn't like propose like the typical way of proposing. He just said, Kaba uzawucela or uncle, go back to visit my family. So he the first time he proposed, I didn't say yes to him. I didn't say yes to him because I felt like we had just had a baby, and I felt that a big part of his motivation was the fact that sisanduba nomntana, and for me that was not good enough, man. To actually pop the question and to say, but this is the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with. So when the first time he proposed, I said no. So I said, let's just take some time and think about it, and just grow more, and see how far we go. And then maybe after, some growth and some changes that we needed to do, change of lifestyle, change of quite a number of things, then we can just revisit the question and see if we still both feel because after having that conversation, we both felt and we both agreed that actually it was based solely on the reason that we had a baby. Okay, so the last question is, regardless of the challenges of the kuzo. I think I mentioned this without being too deep about it. It's very nice to have a companion, to have someone that you can send memes to. You have someone that you can share memes with. You have someone that you can share jokes with. You have someone that you can gossip with. But on a serious note, it's also important to go into marriage without the misconception that cause challenges, because challenges are a part of life. They're a way of living. They are around us. So I came into the marriage with the understanding that when we are tested, it's part of life, it's part of growing. So when we do go through those tests, I understand that the benefit of this marriage outweighs all those tests. My husband, I've got the one person that I love unconditionally, that loves me unconditionally, that trusts me unconditionally, and I've got the one person that will drop everything for me. Even in this time of lockdown, I think the lockdown, if there's one thing the lockdown is doing for us, is reminding us of how privileged we are to have somebody to spend that whole 30 days, 21 days with during the lockdown is a blessing, because being indoors can get a little depressing sometimes. But knowing you are spending that 21 days with your best friend is like, it's the best thing ever. So also knowing you've got somebody that has your best interest at heart. You have somebody that motivates you to do well. You have somebody that is always wanting you to do well. Ulandile is the one person, even in my work, even at work, we're always, when we come home from work, we always, review how our day was and how we dealt with things. And I know that he's the one person that is always teaching me to be a better version of myself. So I know that that kind of friendship is not something that I want to ever let go of. And no matter what I challenge now, I've got a best friend in my husband. And just knowing that even when you fight with a person, you still care about their well-being. You still care about whether or not they ate. You still want them to be comfortable. You still care about whether or not their clothes are washed. I think for me, it's also an indication that I am here to stay in the shade.